Hello Wargamers, it's me Cam from Tabletop Banter, and in today's video I'm going to tell you why having an airbrush is not cheating. Okay, so the first thing you're probably thinking is, oh, of course, you have an airbrush, therefore you're going to say you're not cheating, but it is. I personally think that it's the best invention since sliced bread. This little thing right here has saved me hours and provided a smoother base coat. It's easy, it's quick. Well, if you maintain it, it doesn't break. I've found that out with the second one. And you can start with them relatively cheap. I am going to basically just talk about why I think they're a fantastic invention. And whilst I do that, I'm going to quickly unplug my airbrush, my compressor, and just show you that you don't need to fork out loads of money for your first ever airbrush. So why is it so good? Well, for a start, base coats suddenly become much quicker, much easier, and much prettier. I have base coated an entire Necron army with an airbrush, and that took about as long as it did to highlight 5 of them. In fact, even washing them I did through an airbrush. You just need a little bit of this, a little airbrush thinner, any other paint you like, and a lot of patience. It takes a little while to get used to using. I'm still no pro, obviously. I'm still just working on base coats. I'm going to use it substantially when I go to paint terrain. But this airbrush and compressor cost me 35 UK sterling pounds. In dollars, that's probably around 50. In euros, it's probably around 40 something, early 40s. So why is it so cheap? The simple reason is because it comes with this cheap as chips compressor. It's a tiny box, it pumps air, and that's what a compressor needs to do. It does not have a PSI setting in terms of numerical, but you can adjust it using this nozzle here, and you kind of just play it by ear. It has this really poorly fitted top part, which you can then, wait for it, rest your airbrush in. And it just runs off of a DC power output. You just plug into the mains and away you go. This little button does all the work you need. And that's that. That's literally it. Job done. So that small investment of 35 UK pounds has meant that I could pretty much get anything I wanted done as quickly as possible. I base coated a lot of my Harlequins all at once. Here, oh, bugger it. Here is a jet bike. Now that might look just primed. I need something. So this is the light grey of the primer. This is the dark grey of the airbrush. Bam, smooth finish, job's a good one. I still need to do the bottom, but we don't talk about that. And I base coated this entire thing in like, I don't know, less than a minute, because I could just spray it on. If I wanted to paint this, it would take about 20 minutes, I reckon, to get the primary base coats down, and in a way that didn't look utterly crap. So it saved a bunch of time. It's also so much smoother. I've never seen such a smooth finish on models before. It's crazy. I mean, my Emperor Shadows, which I've been working on, which are up there, they have a really nice smooth base coat, which meant that when I went in to highlight them, it just made it look so much prettier, so much smoother, so much more clean. So I really recommend getting an airbrush. And before anyone starts chiming up and saying it's cheating, I use brushes, I use airbrushes. I'm yet to use a pen, though I've considered it. I've painted with a, what's the little toothpick? That was a really bad idea, I'm not going to do that again. But the point is, these are all tools. If I go and tell you that you're cheating because you're rolling dice, instead of making cardboard dice and rolling them, that I just sound like an idiot, to be quite frank. If I tell you that using these to take miniatures off the sprue is cheating because you're not using a hobby knife, or conversely, using one of these is cheating on cleaning up mold lines because they shouldn't be there anyway or whatever, I don't know, it just sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? So airbrush is just another tool you can use to make your hobby life easier. My shelf is going to be so much more painted because of the airbrush, which means I get to buy more toys, I get to paint more toys, I get to play with more toys. That's why I do the hobby. And the fact that it helps is why I want to do it. So I just wanted to make a video to let you know that there are cheap airbrushes out there. They're not necessarily amazing, don't get me wrong. This, where has it gone now? This one is pretty crap, but it has a nozzle that can do base coats. It comes with an instruction manual for a limited amount of instructions on maintenance and stuff, but you can still do it. You just wash it with hot water or use airbrush cleaner, much better solution. But as it's cheap, I don't mind just chucking it in hot water, giving it a good old scrub, and then and doing it a couple of days in a row. But that and a compressor for 35 quid means anyone can start their airbrushing game overnight pretty much. And you practice by base coating and priming, you practice by doing bits of terrain, and before you know it, you are a little bit better than crap. And if you really want to take the airbrushing further and you get a nice one, then you can do so much more with it. But this is not a bad introduction. I urge you to go and get one to make your life 100 times easier. And that's it for this video, really. So thank you ever so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your comments below. Talk to me about your airbrush nightmares. Talk to me about the reasons you have them or don't have them. And at the end of the day, if you want to go on Amazon and buy this one for 35 quid and go try it out and tell me how bad it is, that's good. I quite like it. It makes my life easier. But you might find that the case as well. So there's no harm in having a look. So thank you ever so much for watching. It's been me, Callum from Tabletop Banter. Don't forget, have fun.